Hi everyone, this is Zen from Project A to Z again. Today I'll be going over fire sprinkler requirements for restaurants only. This video is more like for restaurant owners with general information. So if you're an architect looking for some technical information, then this video is probably not for you. Okay, now the first question you'll be asking is whether the fire sprinkler systems are required for all restaurants. The answer, fortunately, is no. It's not required for all restaurants. It's only required for restaurants larger than 5,000 square feet and if you're part of a larger building. However, for older buildings, as you can see in these pictures, if there's no existing fire sprinkler systems, then as a tenant, you're not required to install your own system. Unless the entire building is under the city's agenda for new development. But if this is the case, then your landlord should be well aware of this. So first check with your landlord to see if the building is under the city's agenda for a new fire sprinkler system. If not, then you're not required to install your fire sprinkler system for an existing restaurant. Okay, now let's take a look at the pros of having a fire sprinkler system. First, it lowers your insurance rate by hundreds to thousands depending on the size of your restaurant. Second of all, it promotes a safer environment, of course, less liability for you and your staff. So now, what are the cons? The cons are higher startup costs. Why? Because a lot of times you have to relocate the existing fire sprinkler heads to accommodate your new layouts. And that means more permits. Separate permits are required for fire sprinkler system. And because it's linked to the fire alarm system, so a lot of the times the fire alarm system needs to be redesigned as well. There's also a monthly fee that you need to pay to fire alarm companies to monitor your fire sprinkler system. And lastly, the plan check process is generally longer because now there are more permits required. Okay, so when you're out there looking for a space to lease and you see a fire sprinkler head in the ceiling, what do? Well, the first thing you want to do is to make sure the locations of these fire sprinkler heads are not in interference with the new equipment layout. You want to make sure that you're not adding any new wall directly underneath these sprinkler heads, and you're not required to either raise or lower the ceiling heights, because anytime you want to adjust the height of these sprinkler heads, you're required to get permits, and you want to avoid getting permits to save you time and money. Okay, now let's talk about fire alarm systems. What are fire alarms? Fire alarm are monitoring device that controls and initiates the fire sprinkler system. To many restaurant owners' surprise, these two are completely different systems, usually installed by two different companies. There are fire alarm companies out there who can monitor the fire alarm system, who can come out and periodically inspect the system to make sure it's running smoothly. And there's also fire sprinkler contractors who design and installs the fire sprinkler system. Okay, now who can help you with the permits? You can either hire the mechanical engineer or the fire sprinkler contractor. A lot of times it's just more convenient to hire a fire sprinkler contractor to do it all for you, because they're the ones who are doing the final installation, and they can also coordinate with the city inspector for final inspections. If you're a small restaurant owner who are trying to open your very first restaurant, then you're more than happy to see something like this. A ceiling that's free of fire sprinkler heads. That just means no modifications needed, no permits, and no monthly monitoring fees. Okay, now let's go over the pros again. The benefits of having fire sprinkler system are lower insurance rates, and it also promotes a safer environment and less liability for you and your staff. The cons are, again, higher startup costs, and you also have to pay a monthly fee to monitor the fire sprinkler system. The plan check process is also generally a little bit longer. Okay, there goes my short video of the day. Again, just some very general information, nothing fancy, but I hope it was helpful for new restaurant owners who are trying to open their first restaurant but have questions about the fire sprinkler system. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.